Hello guys, it's Armorek here, your friendly and ridiculous streamer. Today we're gonna talk about Diablo 4 Season 2, but before that, make sure that you like the video and subscribe to the channel. For further information about my content, check out my X and TikTok, and probably at that time I'm streaming live on Twitch, so join me there. Let's dive into the video. Okay, let's start. What do we have here? This is called Season of Blood. Fair play. Okay. So before I go down the information, just to clarify, I'm gonna go through everything because it's short. And after that, we're gonna discuss it. Okay, let's go. Season of Blood. It's starting on October 17th, which is the end date of Season 1, Season of the Malignant. So there's no downtime between the seasons. Season 1 ends, Season 2 starts. Great. Next thing, we have 5 additional endgame bosses. Of course, a quest line to the team itself. Vampiric powers. And we're gonna have target farming. Oh, god damn it. Okay, I said discussions later. And also renown rewards. They're gonna be... Actually, if you have done all of your renown once and unlocked the potions, the skill points, the oboe cap, the oboe's capacity, the paragon points and everything, it's gonna transfer no more renown if you have done it once. Also, we have some other changes like elemental resistance system being upgraded, changes to vulnerable damage, overpower, critical strike damage, okay. Gem tap, perfect. And filter in your stash, if I understand it correctly, so you can type keywords and search for your items quicker. Not that we need much of that, because there's not many items in there. I'm just kidding. And apparently we're gonna meet Eris. That should be Eris. Do you remember the guy from season 1? How was it called? I forgot his name, but Kyrie Irving, as Rexanterax said. Anyways, so that's all of the information that we had. I assume we're gonna have a blog post with balance changes and everything. We're gonna stay tuned to that. I assume it's gonna be happening later next month or in the beginning of October somewhere. I don't know. We have still less than 2 months out, somewhere like that. I mean, we have 1 full month and a few weeks to October 17th, so there is a lot of time. I'm very surprised that they released this information that early. And what I have to say about it is, let me think about only the seasonal team. I mean, don't pay attention to all of the changes like the bosses, the stash taps, quality of life changes, resistances, or whatever. Just the seasonal team. Let me think about it. It sounds familiar, right? Well, I mean, yeah. Okay, that's not very good. It sounds very, very familiar to season 1. And honestly, I'm a little bit confused here. First, they release it very soon. That means they've already finished season 2, I believe, or they're probably close to finishing it. Whatever. Also, this similarity, I mean, in the first season we had malignant hearts, now we have vampiric powers. Again, it's ridiculous in my opinion. I was expecting something much bigger, much different. From my experience, as a Diablo 3 player, we know how the developer team handled the seasonal situation. I mean, they made very cool and good seasonal teams uh, in the past 1 year, for example, something like that. So, and they were different, man. And even if you pay attention to the seasonal team that they released soon for season 29, the Visions of Enmity, it's something that at least I haven't seen in D3 before. I mean, they had altars, they had special power. Many times we had special power seasons, but we had, for example, the ethereal season where we had special items. They were very cool. I was very excited about it. And there were so many different things that they were trying to do, and not only giving us powers. Yeah, we had the angelic season where you were upgrading your item with a specific power, and it was becoming more powerful. Yes, they were giving us these powers here and there, not every season, but in some different seasons. To my knowledge, the legendary gems came with Reaper of Souls, I guess. I'm not so sure about it. I haven't been playing back then. But after that, they released, for example, a new legendary gem, which was very, very powerful, Legacy of Dreams. And it was a whole seasonal team, I believe. I may be wrong here, don't quote me on that. But yeah, they can introduce interesting stuff. And with Diablo 4, the developers came out and said the seasons are gonna be bigger than D3. They're gonna be more various. I mean, a lot of different stuff happening. Okay, we have a new quest line. That's cool. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I appreciate that as an idea, because in D3 we didn't have the quest line. I mean, it's an additional story tell content, but okay, I appreciate that. I like it. But the whole idea of killing vampires and taking some powers, okay, but we had that with the malignant monsters, didn't we? So I'm not looking forward to seeing that. I mean, I hope the patch notes that they're gonna drop are gonna be much more significant, because yeah, this is not looking very cool. And some people, we're gonna talk about it. Okay, about the rest of the stuff, I feel cool because 5 new endgame bosses. So there's some discussion, are these gonna be new bosses, or will some bosses from the campaign emerge as endgame bosses, as Uber bosses? For example, we had Duriel and Dario in the campaign. There were other interesting bosses, but we will see, because the developers spoke about that in their last campfire chat, I believe. So probably they're gonna introduce most of the bosses. They're gonna be from the campaign, and I assume 1 or maximum 2 new ones. We'll see. The target farming, this is probably the thing that I like the most as an idea, because at this state of the game, we have good experience till around level 70. Let's say 70 as a breakpoint. And after that, you just start farming ancestral gear, and you're searching for better stats while you're leveling up your character. But there's so many stats on the gear, and so many useless stats, let's say it that way, that you're not able to farm a specific item in the stats you need, because you're looking for the item power. Yes, some people are using sacred items, but the item power is very important at that state of the game. And because the resistances weren't working previously, apparently they're gonna do that. They're gonna rework the resistance system in season 2. Okay, but now, at the state of the game which is now, the resistances are not working, and your item power is important because it's giving you more armor or more damage. It depends on, is it weapon, is it armor. And that's very important to be high item power. And you have four stats that you're looking for, and they're very specific. And the stat pool is, I don't know how many stats there are, but I can assume that at least 40% of the stats are absolutely useless, and you never need them on your gear. Either they're doing nothing like resistance rolls, or well, they're doing something but it's so insignificant, like the damage rolls on your armor, or some rolls for the druid, for example, damage while shapeshifting, or damage while werewolf, damage while werebear. Come on, man. And this is going into the same bucket. If you know the concept of the bucket, of the damage buckets, it's all the additive damage bucket, and the other buckets are like vulnerable damage and critical damage. Those are separate buckets, and all of the buckets got multiplied together, and your raw damage. And okay, so all of the 80% of the damage stats are going into this additive bucket, and they're half of them are conditional as well, and conditions that you're not getting 100% of the time. And also it depends on your character, on your build. Is it close range, is it long range, or whatever? But I mean, the idea is that can't we get just a raw damage additive roll? For example, core damage, damage with core skills, it's looking fine, because most of the builds are doing damage with their core skill. This is fine. This is interesting. This is better. But to have while shape shifting in a werewolf, or while shape shifting in a werebear, come on, man. I mean, and you have 4 different stats only for werewolf. You have critical with werewolf, not only damage with werewolf. You have critical chance with werewolf. Oh no, critical damage with werewolf, critical chances roll stat. Okay, that's good at least. But you get the idea. I mean, very much a lot of stats that they're just overwhelming you, and you can't find the item that you're searching for. And especially those Uber uniques. I mean, the uniques are dropping a lot. They even buffed the drop rate of the uniques overall. So we have a lot of uniques. Yeah, in my opinion, because I've played the game a lot, and I started seeing a lot of uniques recently. But the Uber uniques, you have a better chance winning the lottery. You know that. So this is good that we'll be able to target farm these. Let's see how that works. I'm a little bit skeptical. I just want to see it, but at least the idea of target farm sounds good, because this time around you can try and probably go and do 100 runs of Andaria, for example, to drop a shackle. Okay, at least you have something to aim for at these higher levels. Not only go and grind nightmare dungeons and hope for a good item to drop. Not to talk about that if you're trying to pick everything from the ground, it's slowing you down, and most of 99.9% of the time you're selling or destroying all of the stuff in your inventory. And it's filled with 1, maximum 2 runs of 1-2 nightmare dungeons. Your inventory is full. You need to go and recycle everything and throw everything away. I mean, to have more space for the next runs. And this is a good idea. I'm very happy about it, and also a little bit skeptical how it's gonna work. We shall see. This renown change here is good, because a lot of people said, oh no man, I grinded the renown pre-season. Okay, that's fine, and they're gonna make me regrind it again for season 1? Really? Okay, I'll do that, but if there is in season 2, no way, I'll stop playing the game. And yeah, fair play, they decided to get rid of that renown grind. So now, of course, when you're doing activities, your renown bar is gonna fill, and you're gonna get the GOAT reward. But all of the other rewards that actually were important, like the skill points and the paragon points that you were grinding for, you're gonna have them if you acquire them once. So that's a good change in my opinion. But the renown system itself was some kind of an activity that people were supposed to do and like, and now this activity is going down to the ground, similar as Helltides. Almost everybody liked Helltides, and the Helltides went down to the ground. Nobody is doing Helltides because there is no need to do them. I mean, yeah, they may be interesting, but you're losing experience, and everything that you can acquire through Hell Tides, you can acquire through Nightmare Dungeons, and even more efficiently. No point of doing Hell Tides, no point of doing Renown, because it's not that interesting, honestly, and that's why people are not happy about redoing it every season. So overall, this is a good change, but my point is that they need to replace this activity with something, because they didn't want it in the beginning of the game, people to refresh dungeons and do this for experience. But the way that the game is designed, this is the most efficient way. And when the big content creators and the streamers that are they have 1,000 viewers or 10,000 or even higher, million views on their videos, on their channels, Twitch or whatever platform they use. People are gonna who want to learn the game and don't have the time to do it themselves, or just they feel it's better to have to see some content, and it's interesting to see some content on YouTube. So they do that. They know the information. They know how to get their character stronger faster. And if you know how to do it, why choose the slower way and the way that doesn't make you feel good playing the game? And yeah, I mean, the opinion of the bigger content creators matter a lot, and it drives the community from one side to another. It's very hard for me to have a opinion that is not influenced at some ways, but I'm trying to give you my personal feeling when I heard about those changes. So this is my personal take. I'm not trying to be biased or anything. Overall, good change needs to be replaced. Everything at first sight looks good, but we know how Blizzard managed to butcher things. I don't know how they do that. But yeah, that is why I'm a little bit concerned, and I want to see how all of the changes work out. Or didn't work out, apparently. The other stuff, I mean, I touched about the resistance systems. Yeah, this needs to be addressed, because what type of ARPG doesn't have resistances and have resistances that doesn't work? This is the first time I encountered that, and I saw a few videos when the game actually launched. People were wondering how this calculation is happening, what's the value of the resistances, and apparently the resistances are around 5 to 10 times less value than your armor, because your armor is giving you resistances as well, which is some kind of what. But let's see how they're gonna take this. It's another thing that raises questions how they're gonna handle it. I hope everything goes smoothly, because I love the game and I'm gonna be playing the game despite anything. And this is me giving just an opinion, okay? The other change here about the damage buckets, these are the 3 separate damage buckets, which are not additive, those are multiplicative buckets. And basically these things are giving you the most damage value that you can take. Of course, the additive damage bucket is very important, because you don't want to have very low value of that, because when they multiply together, if you have higher value of vulnerable or critical damage and a low value, the raw number is gonna be less. So you need to balance things here, and the idea of the buckets is interesting, but let's see. These damage multipliers are working very they're more powerful than expected, I guess. I mean, the developers, in my opinion, didn't expect them to be that powerful, and they tune them down. Especially the vulnerable damage got a big nerf in the last patch. I mean, for season 1, and let's see how they're gonna rework this now. are they putting this in one bucket? This is gonna be ridiculous. That's gonna be, it's making no sense. It just came to my mind, but I hope they didn't do that, because we'll have 3 buckets and put some kind of multiplier or additive roll on your gear in your buckets. And yeah, okay, but I would like to keep them as buckets, and I have no idea what they're gonna do. Okay. This is a quality of life feature everybody wanted, everybody needed. Fair play. A little bit too late, but at least we have it. Oops. And this is the stash filter. I said something about it already. Yeah, okay. It's a good addition to the game, because it's hard to find what you're searching for through all of your items in your inventory, but still your inventory isn't that big. So it's manageable. But yeah, it's a good addition. I hope they resolve the problem with the stash space overall. I mean, I get it that the player inventory won't be that bigger, but at least our stash, we need tabs. We need 10, 15, 20 more tabs, in my opinion. A lot of people are supporting the game and the changes. Everybody knows that those changes needed to be part of the game at launch, or at least for season 1. We didn't get that. We got nerfs in season 1. And one thing that I'm thinking of right now is we're gonna get buffs for the classes, because they don't want and don't need to nerf anything else. They nerfed the shit out of the whole game. They nerfed the whole game. So now they're gonna buff something. Let's see what. Apparently barbarians need help. That is something I'm willing to see, because this is the only class that I haven't played in the end game so far. Everything else I had played in the end game, and 3 out of the 5 classes I have to level 100. So this is important thing to pay attention to, the patch notes that are gonna come out. And yeah, that's basically it. And let's hope for a good announcement. I assume we're gonna have a campfire chat or something like that, a Diablo stream, and they're gonna show us the patch notes, and they're gonna release it 1 week later. Fair play. They said that they're gonna do similar stuff. And are people liking this or not? I believe it's 50-50, because the changes themselves are good changes, but these changes should have been in the game already. And they're introducing this as a seasonal update, which is not supposed to be happening, in my opinion. I mean, the seasons are interesting place for those ARPG games, because you can introduce some new features and balance changes and rework of, as we saw, different systems in the game, and yeah, like elemental resistances or the damage buckets here. Those are cool stuff, but we're getting this as a seasonal content, and this is the main point of this season, apparently, that the changes are the quality of life stuff that we needed and we wanted 2 weeks after launch. I mean, when people started entering the end game, because in the campaign everything was fine, but after people started getting into the end game, level 60, 70, etc., that's when problems with D4 problems and Blizzard problems started, apparently. These 5 bosses, I mean, we had 1 boss last season, now we have 5. Season 3 we got 10. I'm wondering when we're gonna get new world bosses. I mean, I assume that the game is gonna launch with at least 5 to 10 bosses, world bosses. They launched with the 3 bosses that we already knew about. That was a hit for me back at launch. And other thing is, I need some meaningful idea behind going to a world boss. I like playing the world bosses themselves, but they're weak. Endgame characters, especially above 85 to 90 levels and beyond, they're erasing the world bosses. It's happening for a minute and a half max. Even if there is some sort of a bugged character that is doing enormous amounts of damage, trillions and quadrillions of damage, the boss is dying immediately, in seconds. So we need better and better world bosses. These endgame Uber bosses, okay, cool. Let's see how this works. We need new dungeons, man. We need new idea of the dungeons, because so far we've already consumed everything about these dungeons, and yeah, in the beginning they were interesting, but overall grinding them to 100 especially, it's meh. I mean, you're getting bored essentially. So yeah, I hope Blizzard don't butcher this. I'm gonna say this in every single review that I'm gonna do about a Blizzard game. I tell you that with a hand on my heart. I'm gonna say this exact words every single time. I hope Blizzard didn't butcher this. And let's see. Thank you very much for watching this. It's already very long. Nobody's gonna watch it again. It doesn't matter. I'm putting this on YouTube. So enjoy the review. Let me down in the comments, what do you think? Are these changes good? Are they bad? Are they at the right time? Were they supposed to be in the game, or it's a good idea to introduce them as a seasonal content? Why the season of vampires is the same as the season of the malignant and the hearts? Are we gonna get instead of 32, 40 vampiric powers? What is gonna happen? Let me know down in the comments, guys. Let's create an interesting discussion. I hope nobody rages at my video. This is just my opinion. I love the game and I just want to play it and have fun with it, because at that point I'm having fun in the start, but it fizzles out very quickly, and I'm playing just to grind my 100 character, because I want my characters to be 100. And please, guys, please, I mean Blizzard, do something about the loot. Please, we don't need that much stats on our gear. We need a lower stat pool, smaller, I mean, and we need the ability when we are 100 to have all of the items that we need. And yeah, of course, if you are very lucky to get maximum item power with the highest rolls that you need, but at least let us have the rolls that we need. It doesn't matter if they're high or low, at least that, because this is not possible at the moment. So yeah, that is one thing that I want for the items themselves to be easy to acquire, the ones you need. That's gonna be a great change in my opinion. And the target farming of uniques, let's see, are we gonna have at least 1% of the player base that gonna acquire or find these uber uniques with the target farming? But yeah, okay, thank you very much for watching. See you on stream. I'm right there now, so come and say hi. Bye.